you really need to go. And you are 250 miles above the Earth. There's no gravity to help you. Nothing falls down here because there is no down. And the one thing every single human being does every single day without ever thinking about it suddenly becomes one of the hardest engineering problems in all of spaceflight. We treat it as a punchline. The question everyone secretly wants to ask and nobody says out loud. How do astronauts actually go to the bathroom in space? But here's the thing. The answer isn't a joke. The toilet on the International Space Station is one of the most sophisticated, most expensive, most carefully engineered machines up there. And getting it wrong isn't embarrassing. It's dangerous. So let's talk about the one part of space travel nobody puts in the brochure. Down here on Earth, you never think about it, because gravity does all the work for you. Everything simply falls in the right direction every single time, and you have relied on that your entire life without once saying thank you. Now, take gravity away. In orbit, waste doesn't go anywhere. It just floats, hangs in the air, drifts, which means the very first problem engineers had to solve wasn't comfort. It was making absolutely certain that nothing, ever, gets loose inside a sealed metal can full of people, food, and delicate electronics that are all keeping each other alive. So how do you replace gravity? With air. The space toilet runs on suction. Instead of water and a downward pull, a powerful fan creates a constant stream of moving air that pulls everything firmly in one direction, away from the body and into the system. For liquid waste, there is a long hose with a funnel on the end. You hold it close, the airflow does the rest, and different crew members are given different funnel shapes designed to fit different bodies. For solid waste, there is a seat, but the opening is tiny, only about 4 inches across, far smaller than anything you have at home. And that's on purpose. The narrow hole is what keeps the airflow strong enough to actually work. Because nothing holds you down, you have to hold yourself down. There are straps to hook your feet under, and bars that swing across your thighs to lock you in place. Aim, in other words, is not optional. On the space station, using the bathroom is a task you genuinely have to concentrate on. The whole thing sits inside a stall barely bigger than a phone booth, with a door you can finally close. Which, on a station where you are never truly alone, makes it one of the only truly private spaces any astronaut has. To keep the air breathable, charcoal filters scrub the smell, and every surface gets wiped down after use because in a sealed environment, hygiene isn't politeness. It's survival. Now you might be thinking, come on, how hard can it be? Just go. But remember what happens if you miss, or if a seal fails, or if that fan ever stops. In zero gravity, anything that escapes doesn't drop harmlessly to the floor. It floats free, into the air the crew breathes, toward the equipment that keeps them alive. And it has happened. There are famous, slightly horrifying stories from the early missions of crews chasing loose waste around the cabin with tape and paper towels. Up there, a bathroom accident isn't a mess you clean up later. It's a contamination event, which is exactly why astronauts train for this on the ground, and they train seriously. NASA built a special practice toilet with a camera mounted inside the bowl, pointing straight up so that trainees can watch a screen and learn the exact position they need to hold to hit that 4-inch target every time. They call it positional training. Somewhere in Houston, grown adults with advanced degrees in physics, engineering, and medicine sit and rehearse lining themselves up using a camera feed. It sounds absurd. It is also completely necessary because in space there are no do-overs. And sometimes, there is no toilet within reach at all. During a rocket launch, an astronaut is strapped into their seat for hours and simply cannot get up. The same is true coming home, and it is true during a spacewalk when a crew member can be sealed inside a suit, floating outside the station, for up to 8 hours straight with no bathroom of any kind. The solution is refreshingly low-tech. They wear a high-absorbency adult diaper, officially called a Maximum Absorbency Garment, a multi-million-dollar spacesuit, the absolute pinnacle of human engineering. And tucked underneath it, the same basic idea that keeps a baby dry. But here is where it stops being funny and starts being genuinely astonishing. All that liquid waste, it does not get thrown away. It can't be. Water is far too precious in orbit to lose a single drop. So the station collects it and runs it through a recycling system that filters and purifies it back into clean, safe drinking water. That system recovers around 90% of all the water on board, which means the coffee an astronaut sips in the morning was just a few days earlier, quite literally their own urine. They have a saying for it up there, and they deliver it with a completely straight face. Today's coffee is tomorrow's coffee. And the astronauts who drink it will tell you, without flinching, that it tastes perfectly fine. Cleaner, some say, than the tap water back home. Solid waste is a different story. There is no recycling that. Instead, it gets sealed into containers and stored, and then it waits. Every so often, when a cargo ship that delivered supplies is finally ready to leave the station, the crew packs it full of trash, including the bathroom waste, and sends it away. That ship then drops into the Earth's atmosphere and burns up completely on the way down. So the next time you look up, see a shooting star, and make a wish. Remember, most of the time it's just a grain of dust. But every now and then, that bright streak of light burning across the night sky is an entire spacecraft full of astronaut waste, going out in a blaze of glory. Make your wish anyway. And if all of this already sounds difficult, understand that it used to be so much worse. The first astronauts barely had a system at all. One of the very first Americans ever launched into space was left waiting on the launch pad for hours with no plan for this at all. And in the end, he simply had to go. Right there, inside his own suit. On the missions that followed, going number 2 meant taping a plastic bag directly to your body, doing your business in zero gravity, sealing the bag, and then, this part is real, kneading a disinfectant into it by hand so it wouldn't turn into a health hazard. Liquid waste, meanwhile, was handled by a roll-on cuff attached to a hose in a bag, a system built entirely around one kind of body, which meant that for years, human spaceflight quietly assumed all of its travelers would be men. The whole ordeal could take the better part of an hour, and every astronaut who lived it said the same thing. They hated it. For decades, this was the unglamorous, unspoken nightmare hiding behind every heroic photo of humans in space. That is why, not long ago, NASA spent around $23 million building a brand new one. A single toilet, $23 million. It is made of titanium, shaped to be more comfortable, faster to use, and, for the first time, properly, designed to work just as well for female astronauts as it does for male ones, something the older designs never really got right. When your bathroom is a $23 million titanium machine that took years to engineer, you start to look at the ordinary one in your house with a little more respect. And that is the strange truth underneath the whole joke. The most ordinary thing a human body does, the thing you will do today, and forget 1 second later, is 400 kilometers up, a genuine feat of engineering. It is a survival system. It is part of the water they drink. It is even, sometimes, the light you wish upon. Nothing about it is simple, because up there, nothing about being human is simple. Down here, gravity quietly handles it for you, for free, your entire life, and you never once stop to notice. Up there, they think about it constantly, because they have no choice. Because in space, there is no such thing as a small human need. Every single one, even this one, has to be planned and engineered and taken seriously, or it will kill you. So the next time you walk into a bathroom and everything just quietly works, take 1 second to appreciate it. It might be the most underrated miracle you own.